right. Good morning, everybody. Today, my guest is Alan Stewart. He owns a great coffee company. I'm gonna let him tell you all about it. But my name is Coach Andy O'Brien, and I am the master coach and firm owner here at Action Coach Wilco. We are an executive business coaching firm focused on guiding business owners to have the freedom to grow their business, spend time with loved ones, and build a solid team. So, Alan, I'm going to let you jump right in. Remind everybody of your great company and how long you've been there.
This is Cuppa Austin Coffee Shop. We have 10 employees currently, and we've been there just over 8 years.
Oh, that is awesome. So we connected about 7 months ago. Would that be correct? 8 months ago?
Something to that effect.
Excellent, excellent. And I know you've done a great job with your business, but what has been the biggest change that you have implemented in your business since we talked last?
Well, of course, the big deal is always the COVID precautions.
Right.
And kind of falling off of that, I found a couple of good new social media advertising techniques that I never really been aware of before, strictly by accident.
Excellent. Would you like to tell our viewers about them?
Well, the first one was the governor of Texas announced that all the places were 100% open and no masks. And we immediately did a Facebook post that we're doing exactly what we've always done. You know, we don't follow politics, we follow science.
Right.
And as it turns out, you know, the many Texas businesses basically said the same thing. Some major ones like H-E-B Groceries, probably the biggest, most famous. But it took them a while to do it. And by us jumping on, we immediately got a lot of attention on Facebook. You know, like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 views within just a few hours.
Wow.
Comments, people saying, well, I've never been there, but I'm going now. You know, all kinds of positive things.
That is great.
And then the one that just happened a couple of days ago, we're very strict with our mask policies. We have a drive-through, and our dining room has been closed just about a year now. We're not doing bad. We're about 75 to 80% of what they were last year with just the drive-through going.
Mm-hmm.
And we have signs all over, you know, masks required, the whole bit. And every day there's 1 or 2 people that, you know, just really complain about it, don't like it, really get abusive to the baristas sometimes. And the baristas or the managers had put a little sign out there, basically social consciousness, you know, about women's rights, B&B. The last line is about love, you know, be nice, the whole type of thing. And they got in an argument with the lady about wearing a mask. And when she left, she stopped and stole the sign. And you know, my shift manager put it on Facebook, and you would not have believed all the comments, how often it was shared. I mean, it was like 3,000 views in half a day. And part of that, there were quite a few messages, people saying, well, I'm going to buy the new sign for you. And I had told my shift manager to do another post saying that the baristas purchased the sign originally, and they're proud to purchase another one themselves. You know, I told her to say that because I figured that would like make the baristas look good. And it did. There were a lot of people coming in. The tips jumped way up. So I've always avoided being controversial at all.
Right.
But I'm seeing with social media that being controversial can have a very positive effect if you're careful about it and how you do it.
Well, exactly. I mean, Alan, you and I are both old enough to know what was mom's golden rule, right? If you can't be nice to somebody, then don't say anything, or treat everybody like you want to be treated. It's very commonplace, but it seems to be forgotten. So I congratulate your baristas for taking the high road, because it's a lonely place. It is. So many people, unfortunately, and this isn't a political statement, we all have our own views, but it's respect of others that seems to be missing when rules are put into place for businesses. They do it for the safety of everybody, not one. And that seems to be the common theme that gets forgotten often.
Yeah. Yeah. But very early on in the pandemic, I had a meeting with employees, and I said, our number one focus has always been on customer service. And as of right now, that customer service is number two. Safety is number one. And if you have to be rude to a customer, well, that's too bad.
And that's good. So while we're on the subject of your employees, so since that has changed, and I love that, again, safety first. So what do you think's been the most impactful thing that you've done for your team throughout this year-long process that we've been in?
Well, I've always watched out for them. We have extremely low turnover. Majority of the people have been there over 2 years. The last time we hired a person was almost a year ago. So for food service, that's pretty incredible.
Amazing.
Actually.
Yeah.
But it's been basically a thing of treating them with respect. When we got PPP, some of the rules allowed me to give everybody a 50% raise for a month or two.
Excellent.
Just, we've made a point of looking out for the people. In the last couple of years, there have been a couple of instances where a customer was really abusive to an employee. And in one case, the manager runs in and throws them out the store. In fact, she was at the drive-through window getting coffee. She wasn't working at that time. And she heard what was going on. She parks her car, runs in her pajamas and slippers, and just rips into the guy.
Well, good for her. Again, standing up for your team.
Yeah. And then another time it was something similar, only I was the one around, and it was a regular customer and a big guy. And they actually called me in, and the guy's waiting for me. He said, telling me I'm going to fire this girl. And there was a male barista standing outside, just trying to help keep him calm. And as soon as I got on my car, I just laid into the guy. The barista ran back inside. He thought a fight was going to happen. But the employee awareness that they're going to be backed up, that's a very huge thing.
Absolutely. Well, and I applaud you for that, because unfortunately, as an owner, your job is to be yelled at. If something goes wrong, your job is to take the brunt of it. And the people are there to serve, and being a servant leader doesn't mean you're subservient to somebody who's out of order. Would you agree?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk. We've talked about the past, we've talked about your employees, and I congratulate you on keeping employees. That's been a real trying task for many business owners. So that's just a huge kudo to you and how you've treated your team. But let's look at 2021. What are your goals for this year?
Well, right now the dining area is still closed. I'm planning on opening it as soon as all the employees are vaccinated, and almost all have their first vaccination now. We should have 100% within the next few days if we don't already. And very early on, I was very distrustful of the information I was getting about COVID, um, no matter where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that the Specialty Coffee Association, which is, a business group, put on a tremendous series with a UT professor whose expertise is fluid dynamics. And there's several videos on YouTube, like maybe 3 or 4 hours worth. And it goes down in very deep detail in how the virus is spread in a commercial environment, what you can do to prevent it. And he's not just sitting there telling you, he's showing you examples and case studies and the whole bit. So
Excellent.
So that gave me a very good base to go on. And then add that in, my nephew's an architect. And when this is going on, he's just so disgusted with everything. He said, these procedures have been in place for 2 decades. What is wrong with people?
So has that helped you make the decisions for 2021? I know, like you said, your showroom, my goodness, your eating area, your dining room hasn't opened, and everybody's going to get vaccinated. What other goals do you have for 2021?
Well, getting better with the marketing. I've had very poor results with most printed advertising. Like I'll put a coupon in something and it might do good for a month or two, and then after that you just see the same ones coming. But I'm working with 2 companies that go strictly to new move-ins in the area. And that's, if they'll mail 120 coupons out and I'll get like 20 in. And that's a
Interesting.
huge percentage, when you're doing things like that. And then I'm slowly learning more about social media. I had a very strong background years ago with pay-per-click and SEO. And then that company died, and that company died just about when social media was coming out. So I never learned about it.
Got it.
So I'm doing catch up now.
Well, have you ever, one of the things that we see in marketing for especially restaurants through COVID here is using your loss leader as buy one, get one free. And I know the different cost analysis. I obviously worked with several coffee companies, but we have found that drives more revenue into the business because it brings more people. Because when you buy one, get one free, they're bringing somebody else with them. So just some food for thought as you move forward here throughout this process of marketing.
Well, we've used that occasionally, but the big deal about coffee shops is about 80% of our business is repeat business. Many people are there, every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And so when you can grab a customer, that's huge. Now they're potentially spending a couple of $1,000s a year, and I'll be giving out coupons for a free drink that cost me $2 to get them to come in. So that's a huge deal. Now, I've been wanting to expand and get another store for several years. I just didn't have the financing. I had a very rough time when we opened. I actually had declared bankruptcy 2 days before I signed the lease. So it was very difficult getting there. And the past year with the COVID, we've actually maintained our profitability. And then with the government stimulus, it has allowed me to do some major equipment upgrades. And I'm now looking at the feasibility of opening another shop now. And a lot of that's SBA. I just signed up for a very extensive course, I would say, with the SBA.
Excellent.
Which will help take me in that direction.
Oh, I love to hear that. So, those are your goals for 2021. Any barriers that you see that would stop you from hitting that goal or those goals?
Well, I'm really confident that we have a good concept. Uh, we do know what we're doing.
Yes,
Uh,
you guys do. And this is a plug. If you've not been to Cuppa in Austin here, I think you're on the corner of 620 and 45. Is that correct, Alan?
um, well, 620 runs parallel to the 45 toll road, and
Okay.
cross street is Palmer, and we're about half a block north of that intersection.
Excellent. That's my plug. I want you guys to go see him. It is great coffee. So that keep going. Sorry, had to just add that in.
um, but we have a good concept. The really huge deal is the right people. I'm extremely proud of my team. I changed managers about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and the new ones are doing extremely well. Can I brag about them? Because I broke some rules.
Absolutely. Hey, this is your, yeah, brag about them. I love it. It's about the people. Go for it.
Well, you always, or you never want to put two people in a relationship together. I mean, that's kind of a standard philosophy with management.
Right.
And we had hired this woman, mid-20s, several years experience, and she'd been working about a month and was just excellent, smart, fast, really good customer service. Customers loved her. And I'm in there, and her partner comes in, and I'm talking with her, and she says, Megan just loves this job. I'd love to work here too, but I know you always hire experienced. I've never been a barista. And, well, what have you done? I just got out of the Air Force. I was in 6 years. I was a heavy equipment operator. And I'm saying, well, that's kind of an unusual job. How'd you get that? And she says, well, when you enlist, you go through a book, get a choice of jobs you can do, and looking at this and that, and heavy equipment operator. Oh, that's not for a woman. And so I have pictures of her on Facebook, 19 years old in Iraq, driving a bulldozer.
Nice.
So those two, they're actually married now. They always work together. They've been with me, is it 4 or 5 years? I made them managers a little over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Never any issues with them working together. The other employees love them. Customers love them. That's just one time where I knowingly broke the rules, and it really worked out.
Excellent. Excellent. I love that. So if you look at this, tell me this. The last year has been stressful. This is I think our third conversation as we went through COVID. Tell the listeners out here and viewers out here, what is one thing that you've learned over the last 12 months that has made a huge impact on your business and life?
I really can't think of any one thing. It's a gradual learning experience as you go. I'm there every day in the shop, but I'm almost 70, and I've done food service. I know what it's like when it's busy behind a busy counter, and I knew from the beginning I had no business being back there. So basically what I do is just make sure the managers are going in the right direction. I don't get in there and micromanage, not at all.
This is a great lesson for people because it's delegation, and it's delegation to the people you trust. So I applaud you for that. And that's a great lesson for the viewers to hear today.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of different philosophies. The one that I tend to repeat is that Number one, you hire good people, very careful. Number two, you train them properly. Number three, you give them the tools they need. Number four, get the hell out of the way, let them do their job.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. So as we get finished here, we got a couple of questions left. Tell our viewers today, is there any offers you'd like to include? You gave them where we're located at 620 in Parmer, about a half a block. Or not a half, yeah, about a half a block back. It is, their drive-through is open. I highly recommend getting there. But any offer you'd like to add with this today, Alan?
No, they could email me. I might send them a coupon.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we'll make sure we get your email on the video as we go through. So last question, tell us again, what is most inspiring to you today in business?
A lot of people are doing a very good job, working during the pandemic. People in retail, they're really the ones on the front line. And, they're dealing with abuse fairly often because of that. I mean, it's a lose-lose for them because they either require a mask or they don't. It doesn't matter which one they do. People are going to give them abuse about it. And, they're the wrong ones to be abused. I mean, we had the policies because I set the policies.
Excellent.
Now, we did have a meeting and go over facts beforehand, so everybody understood what we were doing and why we were doing it.
Excellent. All right, wonderful. Thank you again, Alan, for joining us today. Again, if you're all watching this, my name is Coach Andy O'Brien with Action Coach Wilco. We guide business owners to have the freedom to grow their business every day. If you would like to share your story, visit our website at actioncoachwilco.com for more information and to connect with one of our team members. And that's all for today. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and bye for now.
Thank you.